Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. Still, yeah.
I'm going to put a picture in the background.
Yes.
Okay. Where's the picture? Didn't show up.
Erika is here now.
All right. There we go. Okay. There we go. I wanted to. This is a beautiful picture, so I wanted to put this in the background. Okay, let's share this out again. Give me a second, guys. Hello, Estilia. Hello, Erika. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, give me a second. Have you ever done a live before? Have you ever been in a live on TikTok?
Not on TikTok.
No? Okay. Oops, I don't need to send it to you. Let's see, Charlene. I'm getting people. You can only send it to 15. They should let you choose more than that. Okay. Happy. Roger, Christy.
If everybody could tap and share the live, we would truly appreciate it.
Yeah, the more you guys tap, the better it is, the chances for us to get onto the FYP so we can get some more people in here. I'd so appreciate it. Okay, I think I've got some people. Judy, hello, Judy. Hello, Saber. Okay. Erika, did you want me to put you in the bigger box right now, or are you good where you are?
Can you even see me?
I can. You're not on camera. Do you know how to turn the camera on? Just tap the box there, and then turn on the cam. It's like a little menu will pop up and say camera. Sorry. Sorry about my face in there.
You see me?
Not yet. I'm pretty sure you have enough followers. Oh yeah, you have enough followers to use your camera. Here's Johnny.
Let me see. I can turn it on for her.
Oh, you can? I didn't know that. All right. Also, guys, if you look in the upper left corner, there's a blue and white icon. If you tap on that, it'll give you some information about what we're going to be talking about. We're going to about Mercedes in the case. It's just little bits of info. And moderators, can you also make sure that every once in a while put that in there to check the upper left icon that's blue and white?
There we go.
There, I can see you, Erika. Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you, Erika.
Right? You all right? Yeah, I know. Is your husband going to be here too?
My husband's here, but he's doing some work stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He said he's done, so
Okay.
he might be here shortly.
All right. Can we get some more? Do you mind if we just try and get some more people in here? Because I don't want to have to start over. Let me just share this out.
Do we want Staber to come up in the box?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's up to him if he wants to come up.
Yeah. Presently,
Staber is actually one of our partners with this profile, and he helps us with missing people and trafficking as well.
Hello.
Hi, Saber.
How are you?
Meet Erika and meet
Hi, Erika.
Estilia.
Hi, Estilia. I like that name.
It's pretty, very pretty. Trying to get more. We only have 13 people in here right now. Yeah. I'm so glad you guys are here. We had a hard time putting this collage together, I'll tell you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I had to redo my mascara. But, and we could put you, do you want to be in the bigger box, Erika?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Do you want my husband doesn't have a TikTok, so.
No, that's okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. I just want to let you guys know that we're all here to discuss the case of Mercedes Vega. Erika and, I'm sorry, Tom, is that your name?
Yes.
Okay. Erika and Tom are here. They are the parents of Mercedes Vega. Mercedes was, I hate saying this, Mercedes was brutally unalived on April 16th, 2023. She was abducted from her apartment complex in Tempe, Arizona, and then she was found in a burning car 63 miles away in Tonopah, Arizona. I didn't know about this case. I'm from Tempe, and I didn't know anything about it. I found out about it about 2 weeks ago when I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw Erika's video, and it really touched me. Like, this girl needs justice, for sure. And so we got in touch with Erika, and here we are now. They're still trying to find who did this. They are still on the loose, and we're hoping that by doing this, we can get the word out there, and hopefully somebody knows some information and come forward. There is a silent witness. They can call silent witness, be totally anonymous. They can also call the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and I can give those numbers after the live. We can do that because we're really not supposed to put phone numbers on TikTok, but I will at the end of the live. So, Erika, I'm going to put you in the bigger box if you want to talk about what happened. All right, let me go do that for you. All right.
Oh, shoot, my boobs look huge. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh,
we lost your camera. You can keep it on, or you can turn it off.
again?
Yeah, the camera's not there anymore. Yeah, TikTok. It's all over TikTok. We've been sharing like crazy too. There you are. I love that background.
No,
I love all the pictures that you have.
that's the memory wall that her cousin, who's here, and her sisters put together
It's beautiful.
of all these amazing photos of my beautiful child.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess maybe I'll just start at the beginning. There was no beginning to this. We never expected that anything like this would happen to anyone we knew, let alone our child. We moved Mercedes into an apartment complex that we felt was safe, and we knew that she was strong and smart and would look out not only for herself but for other people. When we moved her in to that apartment complex, we felt that she was even safer because she had key fobs and she parked in a safe parking garage, and that the The most important thing for all of our children is that they were safe.
Mm-hmm.
On April 17th last year, we got a knock on the door, and I looked out the peephole, and it was a little bit later than this time. It's kind of surreal to experience the same lighting and time frame that we were told that she was dead, especially when it comes to April. And somebody knocked on the door, and I thought that was, and I looked out the door and I said to my husband, I think somebody's knocking, and it looks like cops. And we knew it had nothing to do with us, or we didn't think it did. We assumed it was something going on with our neighbors, or a stolen bicycle, or something. And we opened the door, and they asked us, like, and I said,
I think you're covering the mic. I can't. There you go. Okay.
it's not working very well. All right.
There you go.
And I said, no, but I'm her mom. Is she okay? And they said, does Mercedes live here? And I said, no, I'm her mom. Is she okay? And they asked if they could come in. And I said, why? And they said, you're Mercedes' mom. And I said, yes. Is she okay? And they said, well, can we come in? And I said, is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? And they kept saying, can we come in? And I think at that moment, I had an inkling, or a random, just like, no, she's not. And they asked again if they can come in, and at some point I either gestured them in, or I'm not sure what happened, but they said, no, ma'am, she's deceased. And I remember hearing my husband, as he's walking down the stairs, just falling and crying and screaming, no. And in my mind, I was like, no, this is not true. It's not true. She can't. No, you have the wrong person. There's no way my baby girl is dead. And I took a couple of seconds and a couple of breaths, and I said, was she in a car accident? Because Mercedes was a horrible driver. I mean, horrible driver. And so my first inclination was, she was in a car accident. She hit a curb. She flipped her car. Something happened. And they said, no. And at some point, we moved over into my living room, and I said,
did she kill herself? And they said, no. And then I said, are you telling me that someone killed my daughter? And they said, we're trying to figure that out. And I said, well, she's not alive. And they said, no. I said, what happened? And they said, we're trying to figure that out. And I remember sitting here. It seemed like for hours. It might have only been 10 minutes. Just sitting there with them in my living room. And the only thing I could do to comfort myself was sit on the rug and move my hand back and forth, just as some sort of control of something that I could possibly hold on to. And I said, who killed her? And they said, we're trying to figure that out. I said, did she die by herself, or were there other people around her? And they said, just her. And I couldn't understand it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't recognize it as any sort of reality. And then they asked me, was she right or left-handed? I said, she's left-handed. They said, where does she live? And I gave them her address. They asked us then, is there any reason she would be near Tonopah, Arizona? We said, not that we know of.
That's 63 miles away from Tempe. It's a long ways. Yep.
So I didn't move. My husband didn't move. We sat on the floor almost a year ago, almost about this same time of night, and just looked at each other in complete disbelief, and that there's no way she's dead. There's no way Mercedes is dead. Mercedes would have, no, this is not right. This is not right. And at some point they left, and I don't recall how long they were here. I know that they told me they were here more than an hour. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. The officer, one of them gave me his business card. And I think my husband called one of our daughters who lives here in Arizona. I'm not going to say her name, but all of a sudden she was here. And I was still sitting in the same spot. And we cried and cried and cried. And my husband picked up his phone at some point and looked up Tonopah, Arizona. And the very first thing that came up when he looked up Tonopah, Arizona was female found in a burning vehicle, deceased, and it was the same date. And I heard him scream. He got up and he walked away and he was screaming. Adult female found in the back of a burning vehicle near Tonopah, Arizona. And that's how we found out how our child died. It didn't even seem real. So then the card we were given by the detective, I don't remember if I called or you called.
I don't remember.
I think it was you. And we said, is the female found in the...
I think they accidentally hit pause. Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it was him or I, but we asked, is the person that was found in the back of that burning vehicle our kid? And you were talking to them.
Yeah, he confirmed it. Ultimately, they didn't. So coming to our house, it's a lot of blurriness because we had just got back from being on vacation. We hadn't been home for 24 hours, and to find out your daughter's been taken from you via the internet when you have the gentleman sitting in your home, and they don't even have basically the balls to tell you that that's your child, and I can find it out just by looking it up. I mean, you process of elimination. My daughter was taken in Tonopah. Someone's found in Tonopah, and it's a female. It was complete shock, disgust, and why is my daughter out there?
Right.
My daughter was very keep to herself. She would be very aware of her surroundings, and for her to end up there, I couldn't grasp my brain around it. And then when all the details start coming out of actually where it started and how long it took, it just got even worse.
Well, so the following morning, I think, don't commit me to this timeline because all I remember is sitting on that floor. I received a phone call And
I think you're covering the mic again. So. It's okay. It's all right.
can you hear me now? No,
Yeah, we can hear you.
you can.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, our children began to show up, and then our siblings, and they were here within hours from all over the United States.
Within a couple of days.
Our siblings, our children, our parents. But I remember I was upstairs in my bedroom, which is funny because I think it might have been the very first time I had gone up there, maybe showered and changed my clothes. But it was the next day, now that I've seen some of the reports, that I got a call from the Tempe Police Department saying, "Ma'am, you can't park here." And at this point, I had assumed my daughter was burned in her own car. But I said, "What?" And I was sitting around, and I had probably at least 3 of my children, my cousin, my sister, everyone is just standing there, probably my niece too. I don't know if Astilia remembers this or if she was here yet. And I got a phone call telling me I needed to move my vehicle because it was parked illegally. And the crazy thing is that now that we have the police report, it says it was in the middle of the road. So I was confused. I thought Mercedes was burned in her own vehicle. I knew my car was in the garage. I had no clue what they were talking about. I can't remember who was standing next to me and put the phone on speaker and said, "I'm sorry, where is this car?" And they said, "On Farmer Avenue behind the Culinary Dropout." And I said, "My car is in my garage." Well, I had co-signed for Mercedes' car. And that is why they called me. So I don't know at what point that car was placed there. In the beginning, I felt it had been placed there just prior or just after her murder. But after really considering the fact that it was the next day and it was in the middle of the road, I now question when that vehicle was dumped there. But Mercedes was found burning alive at 1:17 in the morning near Tonopah exit, and had been hit, beaten, shot, bleach poured down her throat, and burned alive. But I didn't see her autopsy for 6 months, so I didn't know that.
Wow.
So she ultimately, that we know of, and kind of do her timeline. So at 8:54, she was texting somebody. At 9:15, there's a video out there of her going to her garage. At 9:15, that's the last anybody saw her. So if you were to get in her car or another car and drive to Tonopah, Arizona, That's an hour drive. So from 9:15, say 9:20, she went missing. No one knows what happened in those 2 hours, and then they drove her out and left her on the side of the highway. Which, if you think about it, if you know this highway, this is the highway that goes to LA. So it's a very trafficked highway with semi drivers. And in fact, that's who actually called in a gentleman carrying hazardous material was in a semi, and he saw the vehicle on fire. I don't believe that was the original plan. Who would make a plan and say, well, we're going to do all this, take her for a couple hours, and then we're going to drive out and just leave her on the side of a highway? Because like my wife said, she was attacked in her garage, which there was blood where her car was. Then her car and another car were taken from her garage. Her car was disposed of, and then she was found in another car. And in that time, she was shot. Then she was hit again, and then of course bleach put in her throat, and then ultimately put in that vehicle, and she was deceased based off of inhaling the smoke.
Yeah.
She was found very quickly. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. We believe she was targeted, because you're talking to someone at 8:54, and 18 minutes later you're gone. They had to know your whereabouts. Like my wife said earlier, her garage was very secure. Cameras. If you've seen that, it's clear as day, the camera. It's not like a cheap camera where it's kind of grainy. I mean, you can clearly see as my daughter walks out the elevator, she doesn't have a care in the world, and she's looking at her phone. Whether it was FaceTiming, that's what she does. She would FaceTime. She didn't like to talk. She'd rather FaceTime. So we don't know if she was FaceTiming, but like I said, literally walks around that corner and she's taken.
When I see her walking out of that elevator vestibule, and there's just one. Did I just stop it again?
You just lost your camera again. It's okay. Sometimes if you hit the screen, it does that. There you go. You're okay.
So the vestibule, she's walking out. There's only one elevator that goes down to where she parked. So you have to take a certain elevator to go down there. And there's only one. And I had somebody walk from that vestibule to her parking spot and record it. And it doesn't take that long. It's maybe 17, 18 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a very long walk.
It's not a long walk. It's very quick. And she's very close to the exit when it comes to her parking garage. And when I see her and she's got her phone in her right hand, and she almost looks like she's laughing. She's like, and she's talking. And you can see she has her keys in her left hand. And she's wearing jeans and a t-shirt and tennis shoes. I was like, okay. I saw the conversations that she was having prior. I know exactly where she was going. She was going to Dave & Buster's. She wasn't going out for sushi. She wasn't going anywhere else. As her mom, which has no bearing on what the police believe, but as her mother, I look at her and I go, I know exactly where she was going. When it came to the 3 different options that she was considering, well, 4, including one where she said, I don't know. I have a weird feeling. Maybe I should just stay home. when I saw, first of all, when I saw the blood prior to, I didn't see that video until after I'd seen the blood. I saw this weird swirl pattern in the blood next to where her car was. And I said, oh my God, she was wearing tennis shoes. And she never wore tennis shoes. And I just found it so strange. And I asked the police, was she wearing tennis shoes? And they said, we can't tell you. However, it was then released on TikTok, the last few moments of her life. And she was wearing tennis shoes.
Yeah, the disturbing thing about that is the video that was released. We had to find that out on the internet. I actually found it through one of her friends because we were doing like these group chats and I was trying to find out who Mercedes was talking to, where she was going, if you talked to her or this. And this one girl said, well, I have this video, and she sent it to us. And then the next thing you know, it was on TikTok. What disturbed me the most about the whole thing is that the police knew that this video was out there and they did not tell us. We had to learn about it. And we've learned a lot of things about this case through the media.
Well, we found out online that she was burned in a car. The very next day after we found that out, it was confirmed because they said her name.
I think it was a couple. Was it the next day? I thought it was a couple.
It was the next day. Maybe it was the day after.
And I don't remember that specifically.
I don't recall. It was very quickly. The video of her walking out of her apartment, we didn't see for quite a while later, like a month or two.
And that video was released by somebody else other than the police?
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody took the video. Somebody was able to get into her building and videotape it from a telephone.
What, now, was that on Twitter? Or was that on TikTok? It was Twitter?
I don't do either one of those, so I don't know. All I know is it was sent to me from one of her friends. But it did get out there.
It looked to me like a TikTok video. Not a TikTok, but a Twitter. Like it was like somebody put this out, and I didn't see the way that it was represented. I didn't see, look, here's the last moments of this person's life. We were doing a FaceTime with a whole bunch of Mercedes friends, and someone sent it.
Yeah, because they had said they'd seen the video. So, and I said, what video? And then she sent it to one of the girls that was here, and that's when I saw it. Because you can actually, and this just gets me even more, the way they're sitting there talking when they're doing this video, they're talking like it's a matter of fact. This is the last moments of my daughter's life. And they're like, oh, there she is. Like, it's not a fucking big deal.
Right.
And it's like you're watching the last few steps of a 22-year-old beautiful woman who's going to eventually be freaking tortured. And you're like, matter of fact, which everybody knew by then that this, some of the stuff that happened. But
That she was dead.
yeah, but to me, it's inhumane that you could just sit there, because the video you see out there, you don't hear the people talking. We actually heard every person talking in the video. There's at least 3, maybe 4 people in there, and they literally say, "Oh, there she is," like that.
Here she comes. Here she
Here she comes. Yeah. Yep.
Here she comes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, and she's alone.
Have they talked to the people that released that video?
I've asked that question many, many times. They say they have. We try to be like detectives. In the beginning, our two daughters were our detectives. They were digging and digging and digging and trying to find out information. And once we got our feet on the ground, and like, okay, we got. I bet we've asked those questions multiple times. I've asked the question. The person that she was talking to at 8:54, to me, that's a prime suspect. That's the last person that I know of that she was talking to. You would think you'd backtrack from that. They didn't just wait in her garage for her to hopefully come down, because it's the parking garage to the entire complex.
Yeah.
Right.
They knew
And
she was coming
I've
down.
asked, when was that video from? It was taken from a cell phone. It was the, what is it called? Closed circuit television, or what is that called? Like CCTV. Okay. So that is something that's not available to everyone. But someone was there recording it on their phone.
For what reason?
For what reason?
Right.
And then,
And it only lasts for 72 hours.
well, they only keep it for 72
72
hours. So was that recorded live? Here she comes, and she's alone. I'm not accusing the person that did take that on their phone, but I'm saying it's a weird scenario.
So that video was from the apartment complex.
Correct.
Yeah. So somebody from the apartment complex had access to it.
Somebody allowed them to come into their offices and watch that video.
And record it on their phone.
And where I have a problem with it is, and I told the detective this, is that if they recorded that, what else did they record? What if they deleted something? Did they get that after you got it? Because they had access. If someone's looking at a video and someone has been taken brutally like this, what are they looking for? They're looking to see if the people that did this are on camera. Someone asked, I truly believe this, somebody asked them to get that video.
Or they were saying, here she comes.
That could be, and I never thought of it.
Here she comes. Here she comes. She's alone. Go get her now. I know. That's nothing's ever been solved. Everything is a possibility.
Exactly. Right.
Everything is a possibility. And I'm not going to shut up, and I'm not going to not say what could be a possibility.
So, and the weirder thing about it is we had so much trouble, my aunt as her mom had so much trouble getting into the building so we could move her stuff out. Like, we had to go and get so many different signatures just to be able to be let into the building. But these people are just in there recording. For what reason? Why do they get this, like, immediate access, but us as family members don't?
Right. Right.
Never got access like that. In fact, go off of her words, they didn't even want to let us in the building.
No, they didn't.
Maybe, was that could it have been that the police told them not to?
No, the police released it.
No, the police gave us paperwork when we went in there and said that we have the ability to go in there and
yeah, we did it legally. We went through the proper channels and did it legally. Astelia was here. We went down there in 2 different cars, and we didn't just demand to go in there. We did it. We had the proper paperwork to have access to the building.
Yeah. Quick question. You said that there was blood around the car. Was it at the car at the culinary dropout or in the garage?
Garage.
Okay, so the car was not there.
Mm-hmm.
The car was found at the culinary dropout.
Right.
the blood splatter and matter. They hit her over the head so hard that it had splattered at least, well, through another parking spot and into the next.
Okay. So it happened in the garage.
Yeah, so basically when we got there, because I had parked her car many times and I'd been in the garage, ultimately what it looked like from an observation is she was turned backwards going into her driver's door and they attacked her from behind.
Wow.
That's what it looks like. And to kind of give you a picture of her garage and where she parked, her parking spot is a dead end area, and on the other side of the wall is the ramp to come down. So she pulls in, it's a very tight spot. So they were very close because cars could be coming down that. I mean, it was 9:15 at night. You know, it's Tempe. This is where, you know, the building that she lives in is full of younger people.
It's a college town.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's right across from Tempe Town Lake. So it's a very 20-something building. But yeah, by looking at it, we realized that she was getting in her vehicle.
Okay.
And then her vehicle was taken. And in the beginning, we believed that vehicle was taken immediately. But thinking now, a year later, maybe that's not the case. Maybe someone went back and got her vehicle after they had her keys or whatever, and they went back and got it and moved it. So in the beginning, we suspected that is what happened, that they either put her in her vehicle or they took her vehicle right away. But it's been over a year now, and that's an assumption. That's an assumption we're making. So maybe someone went back later and got her vehicle.
Did they take the car for evidence?
Yes.
They did?
They should have both cars. I think they took her car and the other car and left at the same time. That's what I think happened. I don't think they came. The chances of you coming back, because here's my theory on this, and we disagree on this, is there was blood all by where her car was. So if you took her, you had to take her somewhere very short and then decide to come back, because the gentleman that parked next door, or a young lady, I don't know who it is, they have what are those electric cars?
Tesla.
They have a Tesla that parked right next to her.
Okay.
So that they would have seen the blood and
No.
then the cameras and stuff like that.
The Teslas can be set, though, for parking garages, so it doesn't go off every time someone walks by.
But what I'm getting at is the blood that was splattered on the ground. If they got out of their vehicle, they probably would have seen it if they came back. And see, we don't know that. These are all speculations. I do believe that her vehicle left at the same time.
I don't think so.
Like, are you thinking that, Tom, are you thinking that she was forced into the car and then taken someplace to that culinary dropout? Is that what you're thinking?
I don't think she was in her car when they dropped it. I think she was in the car that she's ultimately was found in. I do believe that what I believe is they attacked her, put her in her car. They drove out of her, and then eventually they got, within a short amount of time, they got her out of her car and put her in that car. Then they dropped her car off at culinary drop off and then disappeared for 2 hours. But see, we don't know the video time frame of when her car was found there, because they now have said that her car was on video, and it showed, the police have released this, that there are individuals walking away from it. But we don't know what time frame that is.
Well, I asked them that the day before yesterday. I said, what time was Mercedes' car dropped off in the location that you have video of? And they refused to tell me.
So they've released the video from the area of culinary dropout?
We
Is that
know.
what you-
They just told
They
the media.
told us
Okay.
on April 17th or 16th that they were going to release it.
Yeah.
The
And
video for car being dropped off. I don't remember.
yes,
Oh, I didn't remember that.
that and the 911 call and the police camera footage of them walking up to her car. That was supposed to have been released, that they told us a couple of days before the anniversary of her death, which would have been April 17th, and none of it has been released. None of
I'm
it.
sorry. Can I interfere?
Except for the
I believe
beginning,
that
except for the, I'm sorry, except for the first couple pages of the police report.
There's 4 pages.
Wow. Matt, did you want to say something?
yeah, I mean, they don't have to release the 911 call to the public, but they should at least release all this information to the parents.
Yeah.
I agree. So,
That's right.
So on that note, they how we found out about all this information was through the media. The media has been blowing them up because the nature of the crime, and they've been quiet. The nature of the crime, that they went on television saying that they're going to release the 911 call, they're going to release the body cam footage, not of the original people that arrived, and then they're going to release the 911 call. That's how we found out about it. Now, in the police report, it tells you the vehicle, who the vehicle belongs to, and the person that called in the 911 call. I did ask him today where the body footage was, and I did ask him where the 911 call, because I've asked to hear that 911 call multiple times, and he didn't have an answer to me why we have not seen it or heard it.
I would think that they would release to if there's video of the car and there's people getting out of it, or if there's people around it. I mean, I've seen video released so they could find the suspects.
Ask the
Okay,
people for help.
so we were told since, well, not the beginning, a couple months in, that there is video evidence of people in the parking garage and people who left her vehicle. But it's grainy, it's hard to see. They then said that
Jessica, yeah.
they have the police body cam as they walked up to the vehicle, which I was like, oh my gosh, thank God we're going to have like what type of vehicle it was. But we have not been able to see that either. However, in the police report that they released, the first 2 or 3 pages, we were able to find out what kind of vehicle it was.
Yeah, I don't really want to see the and I asked him that today. I don't want to see the body cam footage because I don't know what it's going to show, and I really don't. I've accepted my daughter's gone, and I miss her tremendously, and I love her so much, and it hurts the entire family, and they're all over the place. What I haven't accepted is that these people are still around, and they're still walking around. They've celebrated a birthday. They've celebrated a holiday. They've celebrated many things in a year, and we've had to celebrate things without our child. And I can't accept that. And that's why we do the things we're doing now, because ultimately we feel that they've made us feel that she doesn't matter. And that's unacceptable.
Somebody asked, could a lawyer possibly? Oh, that's my husband. Could a lawyer help you get that information?
That's a wonderful question. So we've sought out different lawyers. Until someone is convicted,
I did it again.
It's okay. There you go. Okay.
Until someone is accused of Mercedes murder,
What?
we have no rights.
Well, because she was an adult, our rights are very limited. I have thought about that. I like this. These are the things to go after them legally, to go after them with the news, the podcast, because ultimately we have to put our faith in them, but our faith is run out. We have thought about.
We have tried so hard to trust the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, the Tempe Police Department, the public, the justice system. We have tried everything we can do, but we have no rights. We have no one that can help us navigate the justice system when it comes to the death of our baby girl, because no one's been accused of her murder.
We have reached out to victims, and so there's an organization here in Arizona, and we reached out to them, and this kind of bothered me a little bit. So the lady talked to my wife and said, well, just what my wife said, just because someone hasn't been convicted, there's really not a lot we can do for you at this moment. But give me a couple days. Let me see what we can do. And if something else doesn't come out, then maybe we can help you. Well, she called us back and said, well, we can't help you at this point.
Oh my God. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, we are not considered victims until someone is accused of her murder.
Yeah, once someone's arrested.
Once someone's arrested and accused of her murder,
then
okay, but here's the other thing. It's been a year.
Yeah.
And I researched that once it's been a year in Arizona, it's considered a cold case. And that gives us a lot more rights and that we can have someone help us out.
Mm-hmm.
When I mentioned that to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office a couple of days ago, they said, we're not releasing this as a cold case. This is still an active investigation. You have no rights.
Oh my God.
I do believe they're getting closer, but it's not. I have to put my faith in the system because that's what we live. That's what we have to.
Because you keep saying that.
Okay.
Oh, after 5 months,
Okay.
I'll believe in the system. How long do we have to go to believe in the system?
Right.
The system is all we have.
How?
So
No,
that's ultimately.
no. We have the law.
Okay, that's the system.
No, that is not the system.
Okay.
The system is that in Arizona, after 1 year, it is considered a cold case and we have more rights. However, Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has stopped that and decided that we do not have those rights. Someone explain that to me.
Right.
I have two things to state. One, it doesn't take 1 year to release the 911 audio.
Agreed.
Now, if there was a police officer that was involved in this incident, they would release that 911 audio, no hesitation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing is, and we didn't talk about, we didn't say anything for 6 months. We were quiet for 6 months, hoping that they would do with the right thing and solve this case. That's why it's taken a lot. People haven't heard about it as much because we did wait 6 months.
Yeah. Somebody said just tag Nancy Grace. She could get answers for it.
She'll get it.
I have an interview with Nancy Grace tomorrow.
You do.
Oh, okay, cool.
Awesome. Good. I got chills. I just got major chills.
Nancy Grace is for sure going to get it done for you guys.
Your
We
lips to God's ears.
We hope so.
Yes. You had told me about the car that she was found in.
Yep.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's public knowledge. It was a 2000 Chevy Malibu.
2018.
I'm sorry, 2018.
White Chevy Malibu.
Mm-hmm. And who it was registered to?
It was registered to State Farm as a salvaged vehicle.
Yeah.
The previous owner to that, her name was Marissa Case.
Yeah.
The manager at Mercedes apartment building, her name was Amanda Case.
Same last name. We're not, just for record, we're not accusing anybody.
No.
But we have, I mean,
For the record, we are not making any accusations.
Right.
It could totally be a coincidence.
Totally. Right.
Absolutely.
And or not.
Yeah. But it's something to look into first.
Well,
authorities to look into.
I mean, don't think I haven't looked into it. I haven't found a connection.
Yeah.
I haven't found a thread between the two of them, but you know, at this point, I don't. My husband's annoyed that I'm talking about this, but why am I not saying this out loud? Why am I being told to shut up all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Why have we been told to be quiet since Mercedes was murdered?
Yep.
Why? Who screwed up? Who screwed up so bad that they're gonna lose their job? They're gonna get fired. They're gonna no longer be an official. I don't know, but there is something not okay.
Right. Definitely. How does a car that's salvaged and registered to an insurance company, how does somebody get that? Do you know?
Auction.
Auction?
You
Oh,
can buy it at an auction.
Sometimes you could buy it at an auction. You could.
yeah.
However, you could also, it could be totaled and considered undrivable.
Mhm.
And the insurance company was like, we own that. But it's kind of like when you quit DirecTV, they don't want their satellite back,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the car is considered totaled. They don't want it. What are they going to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
So where's that connection? You know, I don't know if you've ever quit DirecTV, but they won't come get your satellite.
Oh, I know. You got to take it down yourself.
My question that I've had to them is, regardless if it's a salvaged vehicle, the car has to be registered in the state of Arizona under somebody's name.
Not if it's totaled.
Somebody's address.
If it's totaled.
You have to have tags.
Not if it's totaled.
You got to have tags.
Not if it's totaled.
So you can drive a car around with no tags and
You
no insurance.
cannot, but if it's considered totaled, it doesn't need to have tags or insurance on it.
My husband used to work in insurance. He said the insurance company would give you a choice. If you would.
What would be the choice? What are the two choices?
Adam, can you answer that question?
Because see, we don't know, and that's the.
He's answering.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to answer. Adam, you can come upstairs if you want to.
Yeah, I thought a vehicle had to be to drive. Like if that car hit me, hypothetically, and it doesn't have insurance, who's paying for it?
Yeah, Jessica brought up something that, well, are you aware of any trafficking going on in Tempe? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the most populated places in Arizona for trafficking.
Well, there's a lot of things that we've found out about trafficking because we bring trafficking awareness. The bleach, for instance. I want to find out about that. And you said the lighter fluid.
I talked to a mom whose daughter, and I'm not gonna say her name, and I'm gonna respect them 1,000%.
Of course.
But the mom told me her daughter was taken 8 years ago,
Mhm.
and that the first thing that they would do to confuse her child, and
Right.
she got her child back. Her
Yeah.
child is now home, safe, but not the same, is that they would inject her with bleach,
Hmm.
which it was the last thing I was told. I was told the day before Mercedes' autopsy came out that she had bleach in her throat.
That could also. Okay, let me ask you this question, and this is a hard question to ask. On the autopsy, did they say if she was essayed, meaning I can't say the word, but assaulted?
They said not, gosh, I don't know how I can say it.
I know.
Not in the lower regions,
Uh-huh.
but possibly her mouth.
Yeah, and they could use the bleach to get rid of DNA.
Correct.
Yeah, I see. I think everybody knows what we're saying, without saying it.
Right.
Now that they found her in the back seat of the car.
Right.
That is what the autopsy says.
Mm-hmm. You've told me a lot about Mercedes, how strong she was, how she's a fighter, and how she would stand up for people. um, if anybody was being bullied, this is what you've told me. If anybody was being bullied, she would be the one that would step in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like she was a fighter, and
All the way to the end.
She wouldn't allow anyone who had any kind of disadvantage to be hurt, bullied, or suffer.
Mm-hmm.
If she could step in, she would. And she did.
Yeah, she did. She'd been kicked out of school,
Yeah.
suspended from school for punching a boy because he was picking on someone with special needs. But back to, I believe that she fought all the way to the end, and it's back to my statement earlier about who makes a plan, takes someone from Tempe, decides to drive on the I-10 heading towards LA, and then decides, well, we're just going to pull over and catch the car on fire. I believe that she fought and derailed whatever they had planned.
That's what it sounds
100%.
like. Yep, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, 100%. That's not a plan. I mean, who sets up, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're just going to leave her on the side of the road?
Well, they had some sort of a plan, and
Well, they did. She derailed it.
Yeah. She was also a personal fitness trainer.
Studying to be a personal
Studying.
He had an amazing ability to look into people's lives and what they did for a living and their personalities, and was able to create these incredible fitness plans for them.
Mhm.
It just, she was so incredible with the way she really wanted to help people. And yes, her personal physical PSA was that stand for? I forget.
I don't know.
She was what, 5'10"? Is that, or 5'6"?
It was 5'10".
5'10". She was taller.
Yeah. She was tall. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I was looking at some pictures and she's just giant. You know,
She's
compared-
built.
She's tall, she's built,
Yeah.
and not an ounce of fat on her body.
She was her goal was to open her own fitness place. She wanted to move to Hawaii and open one there. She had dreams and goals.
Your microphone again. I'm sorry.
She had she had dreams and goals that she wanted to accomplish, and where she was at now in her life was not what she wanted to do. It was just the situation she had to do right now.
I'm sorry, Erika.
You want to take a 2-minute break?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you're okay.
You can talk to Astelia if you want to talk. Go ahead. I mean,
I'm going to mute you guys for a couple minutes. That way you guys can take a break.
Astelia, do you have anything that you want to talk about? Do you want to?
Actually, I just found out some of the information through here, so I'm processing right now.
Yeah. It's hard to process.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about what kind of car it was.
That was really interesting. And it sounds like they need to talk to the people that owned that car. Because where the hell did they get it?
Yeah, well, the biggest problem is like we've said before, everything we found out is not like it has been public knowledge. You know, we have had to seek information ourselves and do our own digging because the police won't tell us anything, like nothing, and they haven't from the beginning, and that's why this coverage is so important. It's because it's really the only thing we have that has been giving us more information. And yeah, it's like my aunt said, Mercedes she was tall, she was built like she could handle herself, so it's really, really like unbelievable what happened, not just the circumstances, but also the fact that she was taken of all people,
Yeah.
she, she was tough too, like she grew up in Vegas, so she's like Vegas tough,
Really? Wow. Wow. It sounds like she just fought till the end, and
Yeah.
I hope she beat the crap out of these people. I really do.
I wish we could beat the crap out of these people.
I'd join you.
All three of us.
Yeah, maybe a whole state. Yeah, but I think you paused. This is a tough thing to talk about. And the first thing I forgot to mention was trigger warning, because I see a lot of people in chat saying, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yes. But this is a tough. I'm so glad that they have an interview with Nancy Grace.
Let's go back to them. I think he's ready to come back on.
Okay.
I need to go, unfortunately.
Okay. Cecilia, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Erica, I'll talk to you later.
I love you.
Thank you.
Like she's moving.
That's just a go.
All right. Love you, baby.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, and it's our life basically. Is that we get up, we do what we got to do, but ultimately it's like a ton of bricks every single day,
Yeah.
and not having any answers to questions that we feel we should have answers to is really hard.
I do know that the police won't release information because a lot of stuff ends up on social media and could impede the case. Could
Yeah.
hurt the case.
Well, I'm
I
not
mean-
sure if that's the reason why they're not releasing it. I mean, that's the first time I heard anyone ever say that the police aren't going to release anything because it'll end up on social media.
But if it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't be where we're at.
Well, okay, let me answer the question. So, I don't believe that is the reason. I believe the reason that the police aren't releasing anything is because they don't know anything.
Yeah.
They
That's-
don't care to know.
Mhm.
And I am like, I worked for the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. I believe in our law enforcement. I believe in the protection that they're going to give us. I have always believed that they were here to protect and serve. But sometimes now I'm screaming, where are the police?
Right.
Where's the FBI? Where's the Special Forces unit? Where are the people who are going to solve my daughter's murder? Where are they?
Right.
And I also understand that there's all these other aspects going on in the world financially, and that, my daughter, Mercedes Mariana Vega's case might be one of 1,800 that this poor investigator is dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can find a reason to not focus on it, they will.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter danced a couple of nights a week, and I believe that is a reason that they thought, we'll look into this.
Can you tell them what they put on her death certificate? If you don't want to, you don't have to. You don't have to. Because I just thought that was ridiculous.
On her death certificate, they put, wait, can you grab me that?
They didn't put personal trainer.
No.
Right.
Yeah. They put,
You don't have to say it. They put something on there that wasn't her full-time job.
it wasn't her full-time job.
How does that have any bearing on what happened to her?
Right, exactly.
That has no bearing on whether she
They
was
put-
a teacher or a salesperson.
Adult entertainer, I believe.
Something like that.
Is that, I don't even know if those are the right words, because I dismiss them and I find them so offensive.
I just don't see the point of it even being on there.
It wasn't who she was.
Right. Exactly.
That's not who my child was. I mean, did she do that every once in a while for money? Yes.
But
Is that her identity? Is that, I mean, why the hell do you put that on her death certificate?
right.
Okay, I can see if you're like real estate agent or, you know, attorney or president of the United States. But why, if that is just a part-time thing that someone is doing, what is the point of putting that on her death certificate?
Right.
That is
Is it because
beyond
it
ridiculous.
gives you the chance and the ability to not respect her? Is it because it gives you the opportunity to not figure out who killed her? What other reason would you possibly have to put that on her death certificate?
Right.
I'm curious, if I died today, what they would put on my death certificate. Would they be like flight attendant? Would they be 911 operator? Would they be bartender, server? You know what? My guess is they would find the most disrespectful thing that they could come up with and say, oh yeah, she used to bartend in Vegas or whatever. Like, oh, she was Rio Rita at the Rio Hotel. Like, let's find the worst thing we can come up with so we don't have to investigate this person's murder.
That is a good question.
That is
How did they
the
get
answer.
that information?
Yeah. How did they get that information?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
Well, here's another question I have, and you might want to leave the room because it is Mercedes' right hand was burnt so bad it was charred bone.
Oh my God.
Mercedes' left hand was degloved. They identified her by her fingerprints. And within 17 hours of finding her burnt, they came to my house and told me she was dead. Okay. If she was that burned, how are you describing her tattoos? How are you describing the pose her hand was in? Okay, that's a possibility. But her right hand charred to the bone. How are you going to get fingerprints off of that? Her left hand came in a separate bag
Oh my gosh.
to the coroner with her nails and her fingertips. But within 17 hours, you're able to come knock on my door and tell me my kid is dead?
They identified her just through fingerprints? Is that
That's
what you
what they said.
Okay.
That's what they told us.
Okay. How would they identify her by fingerprints? Was there her fingerprint records out there somewhere?
Yes, she did have a sheriff's card.
Okay.
So, and that is
if you bartend or serve or do anything within the state of Arizona or Nevada, well, actually not even Arizona, but Nevada, that you have to give your fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an understandable thing.
Yeah.
But if her fingers were no longer on her body,
That makes no sense. Right.
how do you show up at my door and tell me my kid is dead? And then I read and so I don't get her autopsy for 6 months, right? Not for 6 months. And then I am told her fingers on her right hand are charred bone. I mean, look at the autopsy.
Yeah, something just doesn't sound right.
Something's not right. They knew who she was when she died.
Did they find her phone on her?
Her phone was not on her.
Oh.
They have her phone.
They have her phone. Her phone was found in her car.
Okay, the one that was left at the culinary dropout.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the assumption we're making, but it wasn't on her.
Mm-hmm.
If it was on her, I think they would have brought it to us and said, "Can you open this? Do you know the code?" And they didn't, because it was a couple of days later they asked me, "Do you have any idea what her code was?" So no, her phone was not on her. I don't believe her keys to her apartment were on her. I don't believe her identification, her wallet was on her, because of the fact that they asked us, where does she live?
Uh-huh. So they took her stuff. Whoever did this to her took her belongings? Her wallet?
No, I think that they were in her car.
Oh, okay.
I think that she was getting into her vehicle
Uh-huh.
and probably put her things down, you know, in the seat next to her.
Yeah.
And that is when she was attacked.
Yep. Yeah, somebody just said Arizona Police Department is fishy.
Sounds really fishy to me too.
Yeah.
I don't believe she had her phone on her. I don't believe she had her keys on her. I believe that she may have even gotten into her car and then somebody knocked on her window, or maybe she saw something and she got out to protect someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea, but the fact that we have her friends much later in the evening looking at where her location is,
Mm-hmm.
and that it is where her car was found, that she didn't have her phone on her.
Somebody just asked how far was her car from the crime scene, like from the garage to culinary dropout? How far is that?
A little over a mile.
Okay. And then she was found 63 miles away in Tonopah in a different car.
Correct.
It's just odd. That's just, I don't know.
Well, she also went missing for 2 hours
Well,
because she was taken at 9:15 and found at 1 o'clock.
Yep.
So where did they go with my daughter for 2 hours?
There's got to be video somewhere, but it's been a year.
I've asked about street lights. I've asked about businesses. I've asked about homes. I've asked about all that stuff because I believe that they wanted something from her. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But you basically had 2 hours to do something, and then you decided, well, we're not getting the information. Why were they driving towards LA?
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody knows about Tonopah, Arizona, there's nothing there.
It's just desert.
It's 100% desert.
Yeah.
If they would have drove 3 more minutes, or not even 3 more minutes, drove off the road, they could have just left her right there and drove away.
Mm-hmm. Somebody also said that there have been many child body drops in Buckeye, Tonopah.
That's the scenario or the MO that if you read and you Google it, Tonopah has had a lot of cartel have buried people in the desert out there.
Do you think that possibly somebody from the club that she was at, that two nights a week, do you think somebody from there could have targeted her?
Yes.
I do believe that.
Absolutely.
Well, that's who she was talking to, was somebody at the club.
That's a very good possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Count for just culinary dropout. Is culinary dropout at Tempe Marketplace?
No,
It's off.
It's off of Mill Avenue, a little bit further south, but maybe only like 2 miles.
Mill Avenue and what are the crossroads?
It's actually found on Farmer Avenue.
Mill Avenue is closer to it's literally right off where all the dorms are for college. It's the college hangout.
Yeah.
Culinary dropout, all that area is 20-something people hanging out 7 days a week.
Yeah. Saber, did you want to get up in the box, or did you want to wait? I'm sorry. He's up in the box. Okay. I'm just hoping that somebody comes forward.
Well, I do too. There's people out there there's people that have information and they're holding back with it. We do have the silent witness. We've raised money to add to towards it. Mm-hmm. I do believe people. I think this is my thought process too, is this is not an act of one person. This is not an act of 2 people. This is most likely an act of 3 people. Mm-hmm. So if I'm one of those 3 people, do I trust the other 2 people? Did they tell anybody else? You see where I'm going with that? Because the nature of this crime is capital murder. You're going to jail for the rest of your life, or you're dying. You're being killed in prison before you even go. So regardless if you were the person that texted, regardless if you were the one that said, hey, she's home, whatever, you're still held accountable, just like the person that actually did it.
Yeah.
So that persons that did it have to be looking over their shoulder, wondering if the people that are involved are going to turn on their backs on them and rat them out.
Do you know if they've reviewed any videos from the club? You're paused again.
Hey, Munchie, I got a question.
Sure.
You said that they poured bleach down, right? Or
They found it in her larynx, her throat. They made her swallow. And we're thinking that it's possible that it was to cover up DNA.
do you know if that there was any jugs or bottles left at the scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was?
Yes.
Bottle of bleach, lighter fluid.
Was the bottle salvageable, or was it burned, or?
The bottle was in the front seat of the vehicle she was found in, and it was untouched by fire.
Okay, there's your sign. There's your ticket right there. That's because, for one, a crime like this there's thought put in it. So it's when there's thought put in it, there's usually something that they don't have that they need to buy. Okay, if they're going to put this kind of effort and this type of crime and use these type of evil ways, there's something that they're probably going to have to buy, and that bleach was probably bought.
Well, it's funny because one person asked me that, and I feel like bleach is something everyone kind of has at home, you know?
It is. It is.
Not
But
necessarily
how old was
something you
she?
carry in your vehicle.
How old was she?
22.
Okay. How many 22-year-olds are living on their own with the house that they have bleach and the right supplies in their house?
Well, I know Mercedes had bleach in her house.
Okay.
Um,
And I do mine. I mean, but I'm saying, I mean, it's not that just how I just that's where I feel it's going.
okay, now that you're saying that, I also know that there were gloves found by her sink, and I don't know whether or not the bleach was in her house. And I know if there was, they didn't put it in the report because we didn't pick up the bleach.
Okay, have you by chance been to her house and anybody and looked and seen if there was any other bleach there?
Well, yeah, my husband went and
Okay.
there was, babe, I don't think there was bleach in her house. No, there wasn't.
I don't
Really?
believe she had bleach in her house. But here's the thing with that: if they were to go up into her house and get that bleach, to get into her elevator, you have to have a fob. There's cameras in the elevator.
It doesn't matter though. But here's the point: unless that person worked there.
Do you know that she carried bleach in her house? Do you know that you physically have seen bleach?
She had bleach in her house. I know she did.
Okay. Do you know if it resembles the jug that was in the car?
We don't know. What
No, I've never heard.
The jug of bleach in her house, was it the same as what was in the car? You think?
I don't. They never said what kind of bleach, how big it was, nothing. But I can tell you this, and it's something that's bothered me. That we did not take any bleach out of her house, and the search warrant did not say they took any bleach out of her house. So that's a very strange. That's something I have never considered.
Okay. And go ahead, Munchie. I know you're wanting to say something.
You said that there was a glove found in her kitchen. Two. Did it match the gloves that were in the car, or that were found?
As far as we know, yes.
Ooh.
But as far as we know, no. I mean, it says in the report that they are surgical gloves,
like latex gloves.
latex gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Which our daughter had.
Yeah, well, she did, but honestly, when she would do dishes, she would use like the big yellow gloves. Those aren't really latex. Those are like rubber, and so so that's what she would use. And we didn't take any bleach out of her house, did we?
But the latex gloves that she had in her house, she didn't like if she was cleaning something, she would wear gloves. She also dyed her hair, so I think maybe the latex glove could have been for when she dyed her hair, because she's not naturally black hair, and she dyed her hair a few times. So I don't know.
Well, but here's the thing: she would have bleach there, and there was no bleach there.
Yeah, but I don't believe somebody went up into her apartment. It would have been on camera. We don't know that, though.
We don't know that.
They can also
The thing is that that just kind of maybe narrows it down to that it's somebody that has been in her apartment. It's somebody. It doesn't mean that they did it that day. It could possibly be that there's somebody that's been in her apartment. If there is no bleach there and you knew that there was.
We don't know if there was bleach there.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
We don't know for 100%.
Sure.
But I also know that
She didn't like to do laundry.
Okay, but she wouldn't use it for laundry. She would like pour it in the toilet. Like she
Sure.
would.
Yeah,
No,
I don't honestly.
I hadn't thought about that until just now. Yeah,
Okay.
you're
Then
right.
the other
We
thing
never
is
took
since
any bleach out of her apartment.
okay,
Interesting.
so then that's a possibility. And then the other thing I was thinking about was the fact that if let's say that the bleach didn't come from her apartment, but then that means that bleach was bought possibly because nobody really, I mean, if you think about it, and this is my opinion, and it might not mean nothing, but I'm sure that she hangs around with friends her age, and not a lot of people are just have a home at 22, 23, years old with, bleach in it or, these supplies. I just feel that that's probably bought and
Right. But
premeditated.
they also have parents who have bleach, though. You
You're
know,
absolutely right. You're
that
absolutely right. But just know that
that's what I'm thinking.
roll
Like,
it out. It needs to be rolled out. That's all.
yeah. My kid could come to my house and take my bleach and I probably wouldn't notice.
Does
You
anybody know how much
know?
bleach
You
was
know
in
what
the,
I'm saying?
yes, I do, ma'am. I do. Anybody know how much bleach was left in the bottle?
No, I don't.
So the way I'm thinking it is if you put yourself in the position, sometimes to be a cop, you got to think like a criminal. To be a criminal, you got to think like a cop. So would you think that a person's not going to pour, I don't think, a whole jug into, you know what I'm saying? So the amount that's in that
Right.
jug is very important to
Right.
know.
Was it full? Was it empty?
Yes,
Was
because
it
I mean,
halfway full? Three
yes,
quarters of the
correct,
way full?
correct.
Yeah.
So that's going to determine, I think that would help determine whether or not, if she had some in her house, then, she's probably cleaned her toilets more than once and her sinks and things like that. So it's probably a half full little, I mean, I'm just trying to go with every theory I can think to help here. And if it's 3/4 of the way full and, then it's possibly that it's been bought and I would just follow the trail on that. Not that
Saber,
the police maybe ain't doing that already, but I'm just saying
No,
that to me, for some reason,
it's
that
very
bleach is gonna tell
strange
you.
because someone asked not that long ago, do they know where the bleach was bought?
They
yeah, the
can
light,
find that out by follow. All they got to do is follow the lot number on it, and it'll take you right to what store it was bought at what time and everything. Absolutely,
and
100%.
the lighter fluid too. Where did the lighter fluid come from? Exactly. Yeah. Saber,
If it helps, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Erica, Saber works with us with spreading trafficking awareness and situational awareness. He's very good at researching. So that's why he's asking you all these questions.
No, I love it. It's
Yeah.
really making me think and it's kind of narrowing things down. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I did this
Thank
for a
you,
living.
Saber.
No, you're very welcome. I did this for a living before I retired from the military and things like that. But so I mean, I just feel for some reason that bleach is going to lead you to it. I just feel it. I know it, and follow the lot number on it. Find out how full it was. Find out. I feel that for some reason that bleach is going to tell you.
I don't know if they're gonna give me that information.
Do you know? Was it Clorox? Like, was it a name brand or was it like from
I don't
Kroger?
know.
Okay,
It just says
'Cause
bleach.
if it's from Kroger, you know exactly where it came from.
Okay. Right. Okay. But
Yeah.
here's the thing with bleach, which is weird for me, is that I always told my kids and my husband, no bleach works at all except for Clorox.
Yep.
Like if it was not Clorox, I know it wasn't from Mercedes' house.
Ah.
There you go. So
Yep.
the bleach is going to tell. I have a feeling bleach is going to tell you everything. It's going to tell you a
Because
lot.
I always told her no bleach works unless it's Clorox. And I don't know why that is, but it just is. Like I've never and it's something I taught her because I taught her how to do her laundry. I was like, you don't mix whites and darks, and if you're gonna
Oh, you don't want me doing your laundry then.
Huh?
You don't want me doing your laundry then.
Oh, no, I do
I
not.
throw it all in
No,
there.
I don't want anyone doing my laundry.
Um,
But I also know that generic bleach doesn't work. And that Mercedes, when I was in her house, I only saw her have Clorox, Tide, and Bounce.
you know, have you ever heard of the name Anaya Walker? I'm looking it up right now. They said that this case sounds like the case of I think it's Anaya Walker, and I'm looking to see if that's in Arizona. And my computer's not working. Give me 1 second. Saber, does that case sound familiar to you?
Say it one more time, please.
Anaya, Anaiah Walker.
It does not.
Okay, I'm looking it up right now. When I typed in the name real quick, it said Phoenix, Arizona. I'm wondering if there's any. Hang on, Anaya Walker.
Has all of her friends been ruled out and everything, I guess?
Mercedes friends?
Or
No.
has that been ruled out as far as no, they're not suspects?
Whoa, she was 16. She was unalived in 2020. Her body was found in a median along Interstate 10 in Buckeye.
Oh,
So they are targeting these women.
Yeah,
It sounds like the same situation.
I want to know if where she worked. Well, she was only 16, so
it doesn't really matter where she worked. There were so many people that, oh my gosh.
well, I was going to the fact of maybe it was somebody following her from the club.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a good possibility, but it isn't necessarily the truth, like I had a mom reach out to me. I think I told you this, that her daughter was taken from Glendale, Arizona,
Uh-huh.
and trafficked, and
Right.
the way they subdued her in the beginning was bleach, injecting bleach.
Yeah. And Saber, that's the question that I had asked you after I had talked to Erika about. There's things we can't talk about.
Munchie, so that was me. Hey, it's Jess.
I guess.
Thank you so much, Erica. I mean, I know how hard this must be. I'm so glad Munchie reached out to you and I was able to connect you guys and get this going because you need to get your story out. The louder you are, the more they're going to work.
Mhm.
But,
What are you doing?
sorry, we just got a new puppy. I'm trying to close the door. Anyways, yeah, so the Anaya Walker case, so she was a teenager that went to school with my kids actually, and it doesn't make any sense. I had a friend who actually was a dispatcher out of a different part of the Phoenix area, Maricopa area. We lived in Buckeye, and yeah, it absolutely makes no sense. It was not a hit and run. I saw someone say that. They keep showing it as a hit and run. I know someone's told me previously that they do that because they're trying to find more information. It's been several years. Same as Mercedes. I remember when Mercedes incident happened and it just, you're given like this, whatever, it's media. They're just like, hey, yeah, so someone was found in the back of a burning car up the street from you. And you're just like, what? Like, well, none of this makes any sense. And so that is why I'm such an advocate for sharing Erica's story and everything. And it just reminds me of we lived in Buckeye for probably 8 years, 9.5 years. We moved from out of state, and the amount of this crazy crap happening and basically bodies being dumped was insane. And Anaya, being a teenager, she was in a foster home, but her family lived in Mesa, I think it was Mesa or Tempe. And she was in a foster home because she was getting in trouble and because she was online earlier in life. Her dad said that she always wanted to be older, whatever, got involved with sex traffickers online at a young age. And they were actually in a lawsuit, or not a lawsuit, but those people, one of them was looking at serving time, another one was released. And here you go, shortly afterwards, all of a sudden she's a hit and run victim on the I-10 in a median. And they don't share all the details of how she was found, but because I knew someone who was the dispatcher that got the call from a person changing their tire that found her, yeah, it wasn't a girl. You don't run across the I-10 there. There's nothing there. You would have to climb walls out of, housing developments. There's nothing there. And
And probably a very large brick wall.
absolutely, absolutely. And the way she was found and the clothing that was missing and all the things, it does not line up with a hit and run. I know they're trying to find a certain car, but it's just like, come on, PD, come on.
So this is an unsolved case as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I know that there is so much more behind what happened to my child. And I hate to say that it doesn't matter to me, but it does. I don't understand this. Like, what kind of disgusting, they're not even people.
It's an answer we all never can find. It's an answer we all never can find.
What do we call them? Evilness?
Monsters.
Evil.
We were warned when we first moved here, and we have boys, and we were like, oh, we have boys. Like, they were young, and the people that told my husband when we moved here to Arizona were like, oh, no, they're even more. This happens to them even more. You guys live closer to the border. It's easier and whatnot, and I never could fathom that. And then I just kept seeing these things happen, and these children, young people. It's crazy to me. And I know you've lived here longer, and you even said when they asked you the question about the trafficking situation, and you were laughing, you're like, yeah, we know about it. It's a freaking epidemic or whatever you call it.
It is.
Like,
It's an epidemic here.
it's insane.
And it's something that
And not looked into. Why?
the community should be aware of.
Absolutely.
That's what frustrates me the most.
Infuriating.
Someone said to me, if your kid, and I had 3, now 2, who were students and living in that area, I never, ever would have let them come here. I never would have brought them here.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. You were bringing them a good life. It's unfortunately the justice system that's not doing anyone anything justifiable.
You don't know. I mean, how are
The
you
fact
supposed
that you see all these crime reports on ID channel and everything, and by the way, I'm so happy Nancy Grace has reached out to you. I messaged her a few weeks ago. I am so excited about that because you have to be loud and you've been doing great, Erika. I'm so proud of you just being loud and proud with it because your daughter absolutely deserves this justice and justice for everyone else who doesn't have that platform, who doesn't have that to do. You're doing fabulous, Mama. You are doing fabulous. And I will keep continuing to share your story because it's not fair. It's not justice. And something needs to be done.
Yes.
Hey, Munchie, I gotta drop out of here, but but I just want to put this last thing out there is that, you know, you guys know that I've been doing this a long time, and even you know, for a living at one time. But I'm telling you that bleach holds the answers, and I'm going to put this in your guys' minds before I go. Is the bleach holds the behavior of the person because they left it in the car, therefore they
wanted to backtrack to them.
well that tells me that
Calling
it was
card.
planned, and it was left there because they bought it. If it was something that wasn't unplanned, it was a spur of the moment and they just grabbed it out of the house and took it, then you know, I would believe that they would probably take it with them or hope that it burned up in the fire where it can never be traced. But being that it was left there, I feel that bleach holds the answer to the person. That's how I feel. And I really appreciate you having me on here, Munchie. Ma'am, sir, God bless you folks. I hope you get the justice you deserve, and I will help in any way I can for you, Munchie, for you, Missing People Alert, and definitely for you folks in any way I can, if it helps. That I'm here. But Munchie, I gotta go. I got other things I gotta keep moving on. And thank you guys for having me in. Much love to everybody.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks,
Staver.
Staver. Appreciate it. He's a really good person to talk to. He gets a lot of information, digs deep. He's very good at what he does. Yeah, and just like Jessica said, I'm so happy you're going to be talking to Nancy Grace. That is she going to be talking to you live, or are they recording it?
No, it's live.
Really? Because I want to be there. I want to watch.
Yeah,
If it's going to be live, they will release the episode on Friday, I believe, if not tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. So it'll be a live interview, but they'll be releasing it. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I definitely want to see that. Oh,
It will
Basically
be
just
released
getting
on
someone
YouTube.
out there. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Jessica. What'd you say?
I was just saying, just getting someone out there that has a platform like that, someone that's so known by everyone. I mean, you have to this is where you've been going with it, Erika. Like, you are getting to where you need to be, and someone like that, and every step you can to get the word out, to get the story out, you're doing exactly what you need to do.
I don't know what else to do.
You got to be the squeaky wheel.
I don't know what else to do. I literally cried all day yesterday in my bed, saying there's nothing else I can do.
Just keep pushing.
I'm just gonna have to just accept the fact that she's gone and no one's gonna care.
We care. Oh my gosh. We care. And we're getting the word out for you.
We all care. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this.
Yep.
And then we woke up this morning and it was like people were like, tell me about your baby.
I know. And you know what? And I'm sure you're so tired, maybe tired of talking about it, you know? I'm sure it's hard.
When we get off this live, I will be sending out emails.
To who?
The police department, the media, everyone. We're going to get this word out there.
You know, we did a news. I talked to you about this, Erika. I'm going to contact the person that I know at the news station and see if they can help you as well.
She didn't deserve to die.
No.
Nobody does.
Yep. Nope. We all need to keep pushing this. Get the answer, get the word out there. Someone has to come forward. I was going to give, if there's anybody in here, okay, I don't know if there is, but if there's anybody in here that knows any information, you can contact Silent Witness. And if one of the moderators could write this number down, let me get it here. Hold on. I thought I had it. Okay. The silent witness number is 480-WITNESS. That's 480-948-6377. And if I get a warning for that, I don't give an F. Or they can contact the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Is there still moderators in here? That silent witness number again is 480-948-6377. And nobody's putting on there. MCSO is 602-876-8477. So if somebody's in here, come forward.
Please.
Please.
Honestly, anyone involved in this that can help solve this, it's going to give so much comfort to our family. Anyone that knows anyone involved in this, you can call Silent Witness and you will not have to come forward. You will not have to go to trial. And there's money available for you. But anyone who's involved in this that had something to do, even if you were just the one who told someone where my daughter was that night that she was murdered, you're all facing the death penalty. So your best bet is to come forward.
Yep. Yes.
I want to say thank you for
Yeah.
this.
Thank you. I mean, I know this is difficult, you know, but you got to be the squeaky wheel. Like I always say that. You got to be the squeaky wheel.
We have to be her voice, and we have to make sure people don't forget, because it's at that point right now that it's where people are starting to think of other things and stuff like that, and it's just not. We're not going to let that happen, because I do believe that if they can do this once, they can do it again.
Yeah, and it's
Absolutely.
possible.
Yeah, and we need to stop it now, because if this was something like a trafficking or something on those lines, then and my daughter foiled that and it stops it from happening more or whatever, still doesn't change the outcome. But this does not need to happen to another 20-something-year-old person, period.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't need to happen, and the public needs to be more aware of the nature of what happened. It was complete cruelty. It wasn't a crime of passion like they always say. This was not a crime of passion. This was a crime that I hate you, and I'm going to make I believe it was to make an example of her for some reason. I don't understand why, but why would you leave her on the side of the highway unless you were trying to prove a point?
I believe they were mad because she wasn't a weak victim.
No, she was. She was
hard.
They were mad because she was strong and smart and beautiful.
Yeah, they were trying to make an example out of, you aren't going to do us.
Jealousy.
Yep. But guess what? They didn't realize how much she was loved by her parents.
Exactly.
And they didn't realize that her family was going to fight for her. Just because she danced twice a week, maybe they thought, she's not loved. And that's why I think they parked her car on Mill Avenue like, she was a drunk college kid and she went missing.
In the autopsy report, they didn't find any alcohol or
just marijuana and caffeine.
Yeah, and that's legal in Arizona. So
yeah. Well, first of all, my daughter doesn't like to drink. She would drink once.
And her medication that she took for depression.
Yeah, she would only drink if anything once a week, if that. That wasn't her thing.
Once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her routine, for her workout routine, 1 day a week.
Yeah. All right. How about you guys also have a GoFundMe? I don't know if you want us to.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
You can add it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The plan for that is to, if someone can come forward,
Yeah.
Add
add that
to the what to
to
the
the
silent witness.
yeah. We've used a little bit of it to cremate her.
Do you want to tell everybody the story about Hawaii? I mean, we're hearing about what happened to her. She had a wish. She told you something after she got back from Hawaii.
Well, Mercedes had been to Hawaii several times.
Yeah.
Mercedes connected to her Latina root, to her she was a Pisces, and she was a water baby, and when she was growing up, I, even before she was 2, I would be like, come up out of the water, because she loved being underwater. She'd go underwater and she'd come up with a turtle or an octopus, or it was something. When she was there, when she was in any environment in the ocean, it was her environment.
Yeah.
And she went to Hawaii for her birthday, her 22nd birthday, just not even 6 weeks prior to her death. And she had all these amazing videos of her swimming, diving. I mean, that kid would never come up, and I would be like, are you breathing? And as young as she was, she could hold her breath for so long, and as she got older, she could hold it even longer. And there was a small amount of time where she didn't want to ruin her eyelashes or her hair or whatever, and she wouldn't go under the water. And we had a pool, and she just loved to dive, and she was a diver, and she just loved to be near the ocean. And she went to Hawaii for her birthday, and we have some beautiful memories of her caught on camera, with holding an octopus or swimming with turtles. And she said to me when she came back, Mom, my soul belongs in Hawaii, and when I die, I want my children and my grandchildren to spread my ashes in Hawaii. And in my mind at that moment, I was thinking 1,000 years in a row.
I'm sorry.
Three weeks later, someone decided to take her life. Someone who's still walking around on this planet took my child's life, took away from me my grandchildren that she was talking about. She said that's where her soul belonged. And when
When we were discussing what we were going to do, it came back to me. She was sitting out in my backyard right next to me and told me that's what she wanted her babies and her grandbabies to do. And my husband said, I don't know what she would want. And I said, I know exactly what she would want.
Mm-hmm.
So we planned it, and I have had nightmares about it dumping my child into the ocean. But it's what she wanted.
Yeah.
So
That's what you're doing for her.
I love her and I miss her. I miss her. I miss her so much. I miss her. And then I miss her grace, her kindness. I miss her love. I miss her faith. I miss her spirituality. I miss her hands. I miss her hair. I miss her eyes. I miss her touch. I miss her smell.
Erika, she looks like you. She's beautiful.
She was so much prettier than me.
Well, I don't want to. I know this is difficult, and maybe we should go. But I'm gonna upload this video to YouTube.
Okay.
And share it out. And we're gonna keep sharing her poster.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Erika. Thank you so much, Munchie, for following Erika and getting in touch with her.
Yeah.
Her story deserves to be shared, absolutely. And we're going to keep streaming it from the mountaintops, from the White Mountains to the
Everywhere.
South Mountain, wherever we need to go. You know, Erika? We're going to
Please
not
help
let
me.
Mercedes die in vain.
Please help me to do that.
We're
going to do everything we can to help.
Yep. We are here for you. We are here for Mercedes. She's beautiful. I just saw Matt put that picture up. Yeah, I have that. She's beautiful. We will get. I hope that you get justice for what happened to her, and we're here to help.
I do too. She deserves it. She deserves justice.
Yes. Yes.
I do have one question. I've reached out to a few of Mercedes' friends that may have wanted to come in, and I've seen her bio state 333. Can you tell us what that's about?
Yes.
Her angel
Yeah.
number.
What does it mean?
It's her angel number.
Oh, I've never really.
I was going to ask you, Erika, have you talked to any mediums at all? I mean, I know some people don't believe in that and whatnot, but, you know, I come from a family that does. So
I went to a grief retreat, and they had a psychic there, and she came up to me and said, your daughter will not leave me alone.
Oh my gosh.
And her angel number was 333. Mercedes was a very big empath. She was very spiritual, and
she knew exactly who she was and who she was supposed to be in this world. And I think she knew that from the day she was born, which was a little bit jarring as her mother, like, no, you're going to be who I, say. But 333 is her angel number, and it completely describes her. She believed in the fact that everyone had a purpose here and everyone had a reason to be on this planet, and that everyone had something beautiful about them.
She was born in April, though, not March.
She was born in March.
Okay, that makes sense. March, the month of 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
3/10/01. She had found a way to understand what she already knew about people and their personalities. You can take it with a grain of salt, but I don't know many other people that die that you can say that was their number.
No, 333 isn't a big one, but being an empath, that makes so much sense and kind of opens the door for how many suspects there could be, because I myself am an empath, and you tend to trust people off the get-go. You look for all the
I
good.
believe that was her demise, is her trust.
Yeah.
I think that's why she died. I think she found something out because she trusted someone she should not have trusted.
And it may not have even been anyone close. It could have been just in passing. But unfortunately, like we said, with the whole going back to the trafficking and whatnot and the epidemic it is here in Arizona, it's ridiculous and it needs to be stopped. But, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, 333
So
is
cool.
her angel number. And if you look it up, I can't tell you what all it says, but it describes her 1,000%. But she also was protective. And I don't know if that's part of what that is, but she sometimes, and a lot of times, I believe she died protecting someone.
She probably stood up to someone who didn't like that. She stood up to them. She was probably protecting someone else that they were,
Yeah.
either here nor there. She deserves to be protected in life and in passing, and that's why we're here.
I think she's okay.
I just looked up the angel meaning. It's short. Did you want me to read it real quick?
You can.
The angel number 333 encourages to set plans into action and let your personal strength be the guide, to trust yourself and put thought into your choices. This angel number is also connected with optimism, creativity, and intuition. That's what it says on it. That's what I looked up.
Well, I have her journal right here.
Yeah.
And this is her last entry. I don't know how to, it's her 2023 journal, so it's the very beginning.
I saw a video that's one of her friends put up, and I think she had that on there as well. Her last journal entry.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
Jessica, thank you for being here.
We appreciate it.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to type, you know. I just want to jump in and say what I was trying to say without it looking weird and unresponsive. But no, I've been pulled to Erica since the second I saw her pop up on my For You page, and I had heard about the story when it happened. So, and lived very close at the time. So, I just couldn't stop saying her name, just like the other two that I know of, just from me being there. And there's been so many more, and it's ridiculous, and she deserves justice.
But yeah, it also hit home because I grew up in Tempe, and my daughter is going to be going to ASU, and it scares the hell out of me.
It scares the hell out of me too.
Erika, Mercedes went to ASU, didn't she?
Mercedes did not go to ASU, but I have 2 other children that do.
Oh, but she lived in the college campus area.
Yep.
Okay, that's what.
And it terrifies me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it is. It's so far. I mean, when you move here, everyone used to make fun of me because we moved from California, and they're like, "What'd you do? Just find the first town?" And you just went, "Okay, here's where we're gonna live." Because we were in Buckeye, and I was like, "I was just looking for cheap. I'm moving out of town. I don't have a job yet, whatever." And just the warnings we would get from living there because it was considered like just not developed land, basically. It's growing, but not at the rapid rate that, everything else did. And literally, like every week, you were just hearing about these crazy stories and these bodies and these children. And you're just like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is insane. We didn't want to live in the city because we came from a small town.
Right.
We thought we'd have that same, whatever.
Mercedes, she wasn't right in the heart of ASU, but she was right across the street. But here's what she wrote. She said, I am divinely guided and I am divinely protected in all aspects of my life. Even if I don't see it firsthand, absolutely everything that happens to me is for a reason. And there's always something to take away or learn. Our lives are divinely orchestrated, and it is our priority to remember that our guides have their hand in everything that happens in our lives and trust that in no matter the situation we are being led to, we are being led to our higher purpose. The entirety of our existence is constant learning and growing. You're stuck. We can find light even in our most intense moments. Within the right perspective, you can recognize that it is all for your own and highest good. I try my best not to lose sight of these things. Though easier said than done, I am training my mind to vibrate at a higher frequency, and I will let the universe handle everything for me because the universe knows perfect timing.
Wow.
That tells me that she did not suffer. That it was beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. It tells me that too.
Sounds like she was also a deep thinker as well.
She was so amazingly intelligent from the day she was born. She could read people's minds. She was such an empath. She was so incredibly in tuned to everyone around her that she cared about.
Sounds like an incredible person. All right. We've been on here for 2.5 hours.
Almost
Which, I
3.
mean, we could go all night, but
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the Grace thing. And then also, Erica, there's someone in here that just sent me. They haven't been talking, but they sent me a bunch of information that I'm going to send to you. I'll message it to you. Maybe something that can help you as well. Yeah, I've been answering her, and I want to say hi. She's not talking, so but I'll send that to you.
Oh, no, I probably won't look at it tonight.
Okay.
I need to take a break. I need to go do my grief yoga. I need to scream. I need to kick. I need to hang upside down. I need to,
You should. You
Hey,
should go.
Erica, I'm in the area, so if you ever want to reach out, I'm on the east side now. You got me. We follow each other, so if you ever need someone to talk to or hang out with and do yoga with, reach out.
Also,
thank you for everything tonight. I really appreciate all of you.
Munchie and I are here for you.
Yes, and we so appreciate you being here and agreeing to talk about Mercedes and what happened. One thing I wanted to ask you: have you ever heard of a smash room?
Is that when you like hit things?
Yeah, it's let out your anger, and you can smash things. Pretend they're the
one in my house.
No, not your house. But they actually do have smash rooms, and you can destroy whatever you want, let out your anger. I've heard that it helps a lot.
We have the axe throwing rooms too.
The what?
The axe throwing rooms.
I've got punching bags, and I have punching pillows, and I do everything I can to just release my anger. And I have the coolest swing, because when I was a kid, I used to love to swing. And when I went to my grief retreat, they said, "What was the best thing you did as a child?" And I was like, "Swing." And so I have a swing, and I just swing.
Yeah. It's very relaxing. Get your mind off of stuff.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Doing everything right. You're doing everything right, Erica.
Yep.
And we're gonna do the rest of it.
If I was, my kid would still be alive.
No, you can't. You cannot carry that on your shoulders, Mama. You cannot carry the evil of this world on your shoulders. But we're gonna carry the rest.
That's a good way to put it. I can't carry the evil of this world on my shoulders. You're right, I can't. It's not my job.
Nope. But it's our job as your supporters to continue on and make this go bigger and make it be heard, because you're only one person. But together, we're a tribe, and we're all gonna yell it out. We're all gonna make sure it gets to where it needs to go. Look at you. It is. It's getting bigger and bigger.
Can I use the word love? I love that you helped me so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a great community that works with the missing people and human trafficking awareness, and just we have a wonderful community. So yeah, we'll get the word out there for you.
And please don't hesitate to reach out to me and Munchie. You have our numbers. You can reach out to us anytime, day or night.
Yep. Even if you want to vent, we're here. We're here for you.
I wouldn't offer
Like I said,
that up
you've
if
got
I
me in
were
your
you.
inbox already, Mama. I've had you in there forever, so you can reach out to me anytime.
You ever said? No, I'm just kidding. But all right.
I'm not a creator, but you can reach out anytime. I'm a neighbor.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're gonna get going.
All right, my husband's gonna say goodbye.
Okay, Tom, thank you so much for being here. Erica, you just don't know how much we appreciate you talking about this. And yeah,
We're not gonna shut up, so that's where we're at. We're just gonna
Well,
keep
we need people like you to
Yes.
help us share about Mercedes.
we will. Definitely will. And we'll, anything we share, we'll tag you in as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. It like I said before, if there is somebody in here that has information, please call Silent Witness or the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and you can find that number on any of our videos. Please come forward, please, for this family. All right, guys. I think we're done.
Thank you all. We will see you guys next time. We're going to find somebody else that we need to interview, that we have somebody in mind.
Yes, but our focus right now is getting the word out here, and then we'll,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Love
Much
and light to you all.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Much love. All right. Bye, Erica. Bye, Tom. Bye, Jessica. And everybody in chat.